Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. Today I got a fun and exciting and unexpected episode for you guys this evening because we're playing Castlevania from LetsTalkGames, basically taking the world of Super Mario World and putting Castlevania in it in a Kaizo Lite adjacent game. This is an absolute ton of fun. It 100% works and it is quite challenging as well. There's not many levels in the game, but it is absolutely going to destroy you at every single turn once you get to level 2. It's going to take you a long time to beat this game unless you are an extremely good Super Mario player. Before we get too far involved, though, to be a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But what is Castlevania? It just takes the Castlevania universe and puts it in the world of Super Mario, and it 100% works. I absolutely love this mashup, seeing the castles here from both Castlevania as well as something like the original NES game. It is such a fun vibe, and I love the challenge in this game. Now, pure traditional Kaizo Mario games I am not very good at. Maybe I'll get through a level or two, but I definitely hit a stumbling block and get stuck somewhere. Jumps like these, not the hardest thing in the world if you played the game before, but it's going to put challenge on you on the second screen, and it's only going to get harder from there. You have so many lives in this game, and when you actually die, you're going to go right back to the beginning of the game if you're playing on the standard ROM. There is an easy ROM that doesn't do that, and I will show you that later on in the video. But I love the color palette here, that little bit more contrasty Mario with that super red look to him. It just does work in the context of the game, and this right here definitely feels like it's coming straight out of Dracula X, one of the games that people don't usually like, but I actually think is better than you anticipate. So if you've never played Castlevania Dracula X on the Super Nintendo before, definitely check it out. And again, you'll see here, I just missed the jump. That is my fault. But this game will absolutely troll you sometimes into deaths that you didn't think you were going to take until you realize you're already dead. And that's kind of the fun of games like this, that challenge of difficulty. There's a lot of tight platforming, and there's also a lot of reading the screen and trying to understand, because I'm pretty sure I could have jumped on that bat there and continued to bounce to the right to skip something, but I couldn't manage to get the jump. And you'll see here, sometimes these fish at the bottom will just bump you right off the actual platform. I love when games play around with this aesthetic, kind of just making themselves harder to troll you a little bit, and when you add Castlevania into the mix, it's just 100% something that's going to do it for me. And I do love a game that gives you tight platforming as well. There's going to be a lot of jumps here that you need to perfectly time up. If you're even half a second late or even like 10 frames, it's the difference between dying or being able to continue on with the level, and that is a lot of fun for me personally. But tell me down below in the comments, are you into these type of Mario Rom hacks, or do you like more of the traditional story and level based ones? Because I know these things are not for everybody. And as we move into the first boss here, the bat, the patterns on his movement are very erratic. You really need to read the situation because he's going to dive at you. The fireballs don't seem to do anything to him. You have to jump on his head. But his trajectory is so strange that you do need to really read the screen and understand where he's going to be moving, and it'll try to trick you as well. And I love that about this game. If I jumped here, I think I could have gotten a hit in, but I jumped a little bit too late there, so it didn't really work for me. That is where the fun in ROM hacks like this exists. They put more challenge to you than the standard Super Mario World or standard ROM hacks, and again, this isn't pure Kaizo territory. This would be a lot harder if that was the case, but you'll see here, I just mistimed my jump and phased through the boss and ended up taking a death. And like I said, death is very consequential in this game. When you run out of lives, that's it. You're back to the title screen and you're going to have to go again. But you'll see here on the second life, I was able to easily beat the boss, and I love the overworld map as well. Taking Castlevania and merging it with the map structure of Super Mario World, it just 100% works. Now that we're moving on to the Crimson Tower here, again, I love the color palette in this game. It just looks so nice, and I didn't realize there you could phase through the stairs. I was thinking more Castlevania, where if you're walking upstairs, you're never going to fall through, but do remember this is Super Mario World and not Castlevania, so you have to play by Super Mario World's physics and rules. And you'll see here, again, a lot of tight jumps. I love this style of platforming, having to be patient and waiting for the next thing to do. And it also has an incredible pivot on the soundtrack, so go ahead and listen for like 45 seconds and I'll come back and show you more about the game, and you can see me die some more. super familiar sounding track, but also a complete pivot on what you would expect. And you will see there that I did fall down. This is a game in which falling is going to either absolutely kill you or make you redo entire screens at certain spots. And there's even a hidden wall there, just like you would get wall meat in Castlevania. You want to test some of the walls out because you're going to find some surprises in them. And as you have to navigate around the Medusa heads here as well, it is just such a challenging game. And that is what I love about this category of ROM hacks. They give you a challenge, they make you have to test your abilities, and some of the tighter jumps I really love when you only have like 3 or 4 frames to actually hit that jump button before you end up dying or falling into a pit. And you'll see here that sometimes the fire can be an advantage, but these Medusa heads seem to be completely invincible. I was not able to figure out any way to beat them, and you'll see there that the timing on that jump was just not correct, so I did end up taking a little bit of damage. And trust me, in the boss fight you want to go in with as many power-ups as you possibly can. But even this jump here, you have to be good on it. It is a ton of fun and I absolutely love that. But again, this is type of genre that you're either totally into it or you totally don't like the challenge. And you'll see here we have to fight the Medusa head by throwing blocks up into the air. It is taking mechanics from Super Mario World because that's what the game is based on, and putting in a little bit of that Castlevania flair. Your timing on these blocks has to be absolutely perfect and you only get so many of them. If you run out from here, you're going to have a bad time, or if you get hit by the fireball, you're also going to have a bad time. But 3 hits is all it takes is to reduce the Medusa head down to a different form. But from there, I absolutely just trap myself in a bad situation and I am screwed because these fireballs come out and I end up having the block in the wrong spot. Didn't think the fireballs could phase through, but magically they were able to come and find me. And this is my first game over, so it's right back to the beginning of the game. But this is the type of thing I love. When I get sent back to the beginning, I absolutely want to jump back in. But for some reason, at least for me and probably for you as well, once you actually try to rush to get back to the area you were at, that's when the real deaths start coming. Because you get a little bit too comfortable, you think you've seen this area before and you didn't have much of a problem getting by it on the first or second try, so suddenly you just rush a little bit too much and then the deaths really do start just happening and stacking up. Because this jump right here, totally not an issue whatsoever the first time I went through this level, but for some strange reason when I actually had time to think about jumping, I managed to jump right over the flying Koopa shell. And that is again the hilarious part right there. An easy jump to make, but suddenly I'm just going to end up dying on it or missing my bounce on one of the Koopas and jumping right into the second one, taking my second game over. But I keep getting motivated to see further and further into this game, and I think if you give this a shot, it's going to hook itself into you the same way it did for me. Because again, I love hacks like this. Taking one game, putting it into another, upping the challenge, and making it feel both familiar and foreign at the same time. And I'm really surprised that more people aren't doing stuff like this because I absolutely love it. And yes, I did just walk directly off into the lava there, and I'm going to do it one more time again. And these games get into your mind, they start to mess with you, and all you want to do is get back to the area you were just at, but every single death you take trying to get there is going to make it even harder to progress. And if you see that Mario is in an orange sprite sometimes, that means I am playing the easy ROM, which doesn't put you back to the beginning. So definitely check this one out. I will leave a link to the Twitter link below. This is so much fun. I absolutely love it. It's challenging, it's unique, it's different, and it's familiar at the same time. You put Mario and Castlevania together and you have my stamp of approval. Short of that, I am done and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.